everyone, and welcome back to our Authentic Wellness panel. I'm joined again by the beautiful Sophia and Tammy. Hi. And I'm Flick Manning, the founder. It is so exciting to be here talking to you today about this subject. So we spend a lot of time working with clients directly on meditation. It's included in our system in every class and every video, and is a fundamental thing that the three of us do in our individual lives as well, outside of Authentic. But we've all had very similar experiences in that the first probably at least 10 times we tried meditation, it kind of sucked. Like, it was really, really hard in different ways, like massive struggle town. Yeah. And I know that for myself, when I tried meditating, like we're going back 20 years ago when I first tried, I just couldn't understand what the whole thing was about. I struggled with it immensely. I started and stopped and started and stopped so many times until I got a few things right in my head around what I needed to change to make meditation work for me. And I know that these lovely ladies have had similar experiences. So for you out there, if you are attempting meditation and you're thinking that you're just going to immediately bliss out, reality is you may struggle for a little while. It is a practice like anything else. So we're going to share our number one tip each of what we had to kind of adjust or change to make meditation work for us. And now we do it like on the regular. So once you've got it right, it really, really clicks. So hopefully this will help you to get to that place. So Sophia, you're up first. What's your number one tip?
Okay, my number one tip would be to, if you are I don't know what you would call it, a crazy thought lady or man. I have thoughts all the time when you go to bed and you can't turn your brain off. That's me. So what I found the best way to help me meditate and calm my mind was to have something that I could focus solely on. I remember when I started, I used to do it before bed because that's probably one of the easiest times for someone that's a bit, thought crazy. And I used to listen to rain noises on my phone. So I'd have my phone next to me and really lightly I'd put on an app that would replicate the sound of a thunderstorm or just light rain. Because what that did was harnessed my energy and my focus into one sound. And it shut off all the other thoughts of what I had to do the next day and la-di-da, and helped me, put me into that meditative state. So for me, complete soundless environments never worked. And I actually found I needed, whether it was a trickle of water, whether it was a soundscape, I found pulled me into that meditative state and let my mind kind of relax and then my body along with it.
Beautiful. Absolutely perfect. That's really, really cool. Yeah. Tammy, what was your number one tip?
Okay, so for me, when I first started meditating, I actually found it really helpful to find a space, a space and a time of day that worked for me, just to get me comfortable in it at first. So I'm surprised that you said that you meditate at night as well, because I've heard a lot of people that actually find meditating in the morning much better, but I'm the same. I love meditating just before bed. So, when I've had a crazy day, I'd actually do a little bit of yoga and just hold some really simple positions. We've got some awesome things on our website as well that you can look at, different positions you can hold in our classes as well. So I would just hold some positions and it would kind of get me in the right mind frame. And then I would just literally sit there, start to turn off, start to wind down, and then hop into bed and feel so calm and so zen. But yeah, on the contrary, if I was to do it, say, in the morning, I have all these thoughts rushing through my head of what I have to do that day. And I know that once I get up, I have to get started and just do the rest of my day. So that was a really great way for me to start meditating, and now I've done it a lot, so I can do it at different times of the day, different places. So yeah, that really worked for me.
Awesome. Nice. That's great. Yeah, I completely use both of your techniques myself as well. I guess probably the biggest challenge for me with meditation when I first started was I'm a super physically active person. I'm also very mentally active as well. My brain does not shut off at any point, day or night. I'm one of these people that have really intense dreams as well. Like, I'm always aware of what I'm doing. And for me to kind of sit still and meditate was an absolutely mammoth challenge. And to me, that was really, really intimidating. But it was also because I'd actually been given some probably false information or some slightly incorrect information about meditation. So I sort of assumed that I was supposed to suddenly just sit there for a full hour and completely empty out my mind and have no thoughts running through it. And what happened was, the first time I attempted to meditate, is my body was actually doing like little jumps, like little pulses, because it was trying to be forced to shut down when it was not actually ready to shut down. And I was putting all this pressure into my head of, oh no, I'm thinking, oh no, I'm thinking about the fact that I'm thinking, and how, I was getting myself all worked up about it. And then that was coming out through my physical form. And I found it so difficult. I thought, there is no way someone like me that thinks all the time and moves all the time is ever going to be able to meditate. What I worked out, that that's actually really a myth, because we're hardwired to think. That's what our brains do. They're a processing machine. They're a supercomputer. You can't suddenly just tell it to switch all thought off. And so I had to kind of let that go and realize that it's not actually about emptying out my mind or trying to force it to be empty or quiet. It's simply just to try and channel all of that energy that it has into a particular area. So for you, like, you found that putting it into that sound, for yourself, moving it into that body space. For me, it was very much about going, okay, what can I do anywhere? So anything that's sustainable, what can I do anytime to start getting into meditation? So for me, was really connecting it to the breath. Once I worked out that I could very simply channel all my energy into just focusing on the sensation of breathing in and out repetitively, once I nailed that, the rest of meditation came really easily. But until that point, I honestly thought it was just not for me, because it just sounded like the biggest, most intimidating thing in the world. And then I learned it's really, really not.
Yeah.
So
True.
if you're out there and you're feeling the same as we did, this is a bit of a struggle for someone that's got really busy life, really busy mind, very physically active, whatever it is that you do, there's definitely ways to get around it. But because it is a practice, it is a bit of trial and error. It is going to take a few attempts probably to find exactly what's going to work for you. But 100%, please stick with it and try and actually find what it is that works for you, because the benefits mentally, emotionally, and physically are mammoth. Some of the most brilliant minds in the world, some of the most successful people in the world are people that meditate every single day. And it's because they have such control over how they think, how they feel, and then how they actually act during their life, that allows them to be those successful, happy people. They essentially attract all of that stuff to them. And we definitely live that life. Amazing stuff happens to us sometimes, and you think it's only to do with the fact that we have that energy, the fact that we live that life of wellness, that those things come into our life, because we're giving it out in the same way that we're receiving it. So hang in there. Hopefully those tips have been helpful to you, and thank you again, ladies, for joining me for this wellness panel. Stay tuned, because there will be more things coming up. Bye.
Bye.